Hello there, I'm Gary Foster and welcome to episode 40 of What Price Victory. In today's episode, it's an A-League doubleheader where Melbourne Victory are away to Wellington Phoenix as well as the Central Coast Mariners. Just going to the schedule, since you last joined us where Victory suffered a 2-0 defeat away to the Jets, our follow-up game a few days later was a Big Blue Derby that ended up 0-0. And once again, a few days after that, Victory hit a little bit of form where they beat Western United 4-2. And the highlight of that was the fact that all the under-23s had returned from a successful campaign where the Australian under-23s had beaten Indonesia under-23s 3-0 in the Cup final. But here we are, the goals for Melbourne Victory against Western United, where Barnett he ripped home a ripper to open up the proceedings. But with Western United on the ball, they let the ball run through, and Pereira's slotted a good goal to equalise with half-time looming. In the second half, from a corner, Burkick nodded it down, and Barnett had a shot that was going wide, and then Skeary, he was Johnny on the spot. Lawton, who's back from injury, a nice little cross, and Skeary with a right foot volley hooked it in. And Metcalf put the icing on the cake. Then poor clearance, or a poor free kick, was duly punished. So that was an emphatic win, and that was followed up with a 2-0 win over Macarthur FC, with Laurie Latanzio and Brendan Skeary on the two goal sheets. And just crank that up. So Latanzio and Skeary back from their under-23 duties. So as you can see, Skeary on the ball here. Nice little through ball to Laurie Latanzio, who runs on the ball, and it's a great finish. So there's inexplicably 6 minutes of injury time, 2 more than the allocated time, maybe for a couple of bookings or something like that. But Markovic pulled the ball back to Skeary, and he finished from inside the box. So that was 2-0 to Victory, and effectively put us on top of the A-League tree. Now, as you can see, for the Asian Champions League has been drawn, and we've been drawn against Guangzhou, who we played last year and had some success against. I assume that's supposed to be Hanoi FC from the Vietnamese league, and Yokohama FC. Now, Yokohama in real life are in the J2 league, so they must have had a meteoric rise in the past couple of seasons here to qualify for the Asian Champions League. So I think Victory and Guangzhou would be the two favourites there, and I'm sure it'll be a battle royale there to see who goes through on top. So with that, we'll go to our team selection for the game against Wellington Phoenix. A couple of changes forced by injury, but I've got Collette in goal, Grant, Dendonka, Ansell and Markovic in defence, Barnett, Butler and Metcalf as a flat three midfield, Italiano and Lawton in attack, with Skeary up front. Without further ado, we'll go to Wellington Phoenix. Okay, so I think we need to be assertive and to go out there and impress me. It's going to be the problem now trying to mix and match the responses, or to get the right responses anyway. And I mean, there's always a question mark as to how effective it is anyway in in the overall game. But anyway, we're underway with Phoenix having the first few shots on goal, but nothing worth a highlight. So nothing much to report. Might be able to give them a little bit of encouragement for what that's worth. Okay, so Phoenix on the attacking throw. It's a Silver Shirts behind, but they get the cross in, but it's cleared out with Garry on the ball. Makes a bit of space for himself down the left. A few white shirts in the middle if he can get it across. But he goes himself and then pulls it back. Lawton and Barnett, they both have a couple of bites at the cherry, and they get a corner. So good counter attack, but no real reward. Oh, nearly an own goal. Nearly an own goal there. Nearly, but not quite. So Phoenix with the ball again. Okay, won by Metcalf with a great through ball first time to Garry. Can he finish? The keeper makes himself big again, and another corner. Italiano, oh, straight at the keeper. I don't think the keeper could have got out of the way of that. Italiano again. And Garry on the far post, but the defence was able to handle him that time. Maybe a little bit more encouragement. Okay, Victory's certainly having the better part of shots on goal. Although they're starved to possession. 61 to 39%. It's extraordinary. The midfielders are obviously not doing terribly well. I'm not happy. It's not so much your playmaking efforts. Ooh. Okay. Okay, midfielder's not playing terribly well, but anyway, here's Garry getting in behind the defence. No white shirts in the middle though. And a penalty's been awarded. Subject to the VAR, of course. We've actually had about 3 or 4 VAR decisions go against us, and there's another one. Now that's where it happened to us before, where I was curious as to how the play would be restarted. Okay, so Phoenix pumping the ball through. Not much movement forward, and gets it's cut out with Garry, and there he goes. Great goal. Well finished. I think it's so important to Victory's performance that Italiano, Skiri and Lawton and Laurie Latanzio, they can keep fit. One touch, emphatic finish. So bring Ryan Teague on after his heroics in the under 23s. Teague on the ball, lofts it into Skiri with a deft little touch. Now I don't know whether he was offside there or not. He certainly timed his run. Floating cross could be deceptive and a static defence, so is it going to be checked? Oh no. No, the fact that he ran forward laterally rather than through, so yeah, tight. Shoelace in it, so Skiri with a double. Might look at bringing Italiano off now. Bring Laurie Latanzio on, another of the under 23 heroes. Searching ball out to Nishikawa, who's come up from the back. Ooh, a couple of little blips. Okay, ref getting in the way. And Barnett's been hacked down there. It looks like Melling has been double yellowed, which means they're sacrificing their midfield by the look of it. And what we'll do is just pause that. Nishikawa. I'm going to bring Barnett off. Haven't done that terribly well, have I? Okay. Nishikawa, Markovic, and Lawton will have to stay on. 20 minutes out. Metcalf with the well, it turns out to be a shot, rather ambitious from that angle, or distance at least anyway. So Phoenix pumped the ball upfield, easily cut out by Baglio. Certainly not much happening in attack for Phoenix, but just need to keep them at bay. And one back. And Laurie Latanzio dropped back there, but Skiri powers into the box and blasts it straight at the keeper. Picked up by Lawton, who might be able to get it back. Full court press, I think this would be called in basketball. Phoenix certainly under the attack, under the pump, and a rather innocuous end. Barnett has picked up a bruised shoulder. He can stay on. Now he can stay on. Let's go Skiri again. Barnett with his dodgy shoulder. Mind you, we don't want to break him, so I'm being perhaps a little unkind not to pull him off, but it's only 2-0, but there's Skiri with his hat-trick. Yep, all done. So Grant, the long ball forward, Garry made the run and tucked inside the far post. So we might be able to take Barnett off now. Just leave two in midfield. Just slow everything down. Okay, so wind down the clock. Okay, just time waste now, run it down. Garry won't do that, he'll power into the box and he'll sting the keeper's palms again. Garry's certainly run them ragged. Metcalf launches the ball in. And not much on offer for the Phoenix attack. Now Lawton, he can got plenty of green in front of him, so he can run the ball. I think Garry's offside there, surely. Another goal disallowed by the VAR. Yeah. That's okay. So Phoenix might have the last attack in this game. Phoenix with nothing really much to play for here. The whistle goes for full time. Not really quite sure what that little blip was there at the end, unless it was a replay of the disallowed goal. But that was ages before. But there we have it. Emphatic 3-0 win to Melbourne victory. Give them all a cuddle. So that puts us on top of the tree, although Melbourne City and Wanderers, they have games in hand, so that gap can narrow. So let's just get back to the schedule. As planned, we'll come back for the Mariners game. Okay, so here we are for the game against the Mariners. Pretty much an unchanged squad, with the exception we've had to bring in our backup keeper, Jared Collette, because our number one keeper, Dimitriou, has picked up an injury and is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is a bit of a bugger. But Collette has got some pretty good pedigree and has come back from representing Australia at the recent Under-23 tournament. So reasonably confident with this squad of Collette in goal, Nishikawa, Baghulio, Dendonka and Grant in defence, flat three midfield of Kurta, Teague and Barnett, Italiano and Lawton our wide players, and Garry up front, who will be leading the attack. On the bench, we've got Kosdra, who's a new gen player. We've also got Sean O'Neill from the under-23s. Connor Metcalf, who is yet to really hit his stride, and Laurie Latanzio, who's waiting on the bench to strut his stuff from his under-23 heroics. Nick Ansell, Burkick and Williamson. So a lot of attacking options on the bench. And now that I sort of look at it again, I just might bring in Markovic there just for a couple of more defensive options. I think that might be the better way to go. So we'll submit that. Yeah, go and carry on where you left off last match, I think would be the more appropriate. Just make sure we've got that on the right key highlights, and we're underway. A strong start by Victory in this competition, and there is an expectation now that they will dominate. So it's just going to be pretty much a suck it and see where this save is going to end. I mean, it could be argued that the rebuild is pretty well complete, because they are starting to dominate the domestic competition, but as yet to crack it in Asia. Semi-finals for the last 2 years have been pretty impressive. I think Garry's offside there. Although, yeah, referee blows his whistle. He's going to be doing the VAR check. And for the umpteenth time this year, or this season, and we're only about 10 or 11 games in, the goal has been disallowed. Rightly so. He was off by 1.5 miles, so the AR could have flagged that and saved us all a little bit of worry. But that's okay. Yeah, so Sydney on top. Sydney, who were the third favourites, they're sort of firmly entrenched in the playoffs, and Melbourne Victory are the current pace setters, with Western Sydney and our crosstown rivals, Melbourne City. So, but it's early days. There's still plenty of points to play for, and with Asian Cup commitments coming up, it's going to be a bit of a battle of attrition, I think. So we just need to encourage these guys. Certainly an expectation that Victory should be able to get points off Central Coast. But they're being quite stubborn and quite hard to break down. Okay, so possession shared, shots kind of okay, XG similar. Yeah, going to be battle of attrition. So if these guys expected just to turn up to put 3 points in their pocket, that's not going to be the taste. It's not going to be the case, rather. Don't really think we have been the better team here. Maybe show the pundits they've been right to back you up. That's seems to get a positive reaction from them all. So they like reading the newspapers, so they like seeing their name online. So Kurdo not playing as well I would have liked, and he's picked up a booking as well. So that may be the first change that I'll be looking at. I might do that now. Substitute. I'll bring on Connor Metcalf, who's probably unlucky not to start, and I might bring on Williamson as well. Laurie Latanzio is there. Williamson has been playing for us of late, so early double sub, which I'm not usually as part of the match plan, but we'll just see if we can just get a little bit of spark in our forward play. We've got Williamson on the ball, drives it deep into the Mariners half. I think he's got 5 teammates to peak, but a good little interplay, and there's Lawton, who's drifted in from his right wing, and Barnett, who's been pushing up as well. So yeah, lots of shirts broke forward then. Williamson held up the ball. As you can see, 5 white shirts in the box. Mariners outnumbered 5-3. The cavalry came a bit too late, and Williamson makes an immediate impact. Tight offside? Nah, pretty flat. Pretty flat. Don't have to see that. So we'll get them through probably till about the 80th minute now before I'd look at another sub. I'm not terribly concerned about Tendonka, although Grant is a little bit down as well on his form. Mariners are also swapping their formation around. Now ignore Nishikawa's. Just might have a look there, see if I can give Italiano a rest and bring on Laurie Latanzio just to get a little bit of game time in for 10 or so minutes. So a lot of wide players, wide attacking options for victory. So okay, Nishikawa up to Laurie Latanzio, back to Nishikawa. Okay, Laurie, you're supposed to be a little bit further upfield than that. But if Nishikawa's going to lose the ball, but it's turned over again. So Williamson's been involved in a few good stages of play since coming on. So Metcalf, can he set something up? Little channel ball to Laurie Latanzio, who puts it just past the reach of the keeper. And he's immediately reminded me of how good a player he is as well. So one of our youngsters. So little channel ball, and yeah, just tucked it in the far post. So 2-0. Scoreline may have flattered us because Mariners have made us work. So Laurie Latanzio on the ball again. Back to back Julio. Barnett. Okay, nice little interplay, guys, but everyone's got their back to goal. Okay, little ball there through to Metcalf. And once again, similar goal to Laurie Latanzio scored a few minutes ago. So nice little interplay there. And Laurie Latanzio was the provider this time. And Metcalf. So another good substitution. Substituted players. They've all been involved in goals. They've all been involved in... they've all scored goals as well. So... yeah, strong finish. Maybe should remember just to give them a little praise. They do like to be stroked. Okay, bit of a slip there, and Omika's snuck one in, probably not undeserved, but we were a little bit slack there. Bagulio missed his challenge, mistimed his challenge completely there, and we were cut open. Just after I've given them a little bit of praise. Ooh, here's Omik again. Oh, saved by Colette. Boys, we've just gone to sleep a minute, and the praise call is coming through now, which is probably a little bit mistimed, because ideally I would like the praise call about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Just one thing I assume that's when the praise does come through, when they see the shout, but you'd think a touchline shout would be a little bit more immediate than, for argument's sake, things like a substitution or even a change of tactic. Anyway, running down time now, so looks like all our fitness levels have been maintained, no injuries to speak of, and a header goes over the crossbar. It's okay, guys. Okay, so there we have it, 3-1 to the victory. Probably not comprehensive, but it was a pretty good game there. Central Coast certainly stuck it to us, and took a long time for us to actually assert ourselves. It wasn't until Lawton got that goal, and then 2 quick goals by Laurie Latanzio and Connor Metcalf. So we'll go into the dressing room, give them all a cuddle. I'm very pleased. We'll continue with that and confirm that we now have a 5-point gap. Looks like Melbourne City have played 1 extra game. Quickly go into the inbox. Nothing at all there, but we'll have a look at our schedule. Okay, so I'll play the Brisbane Roar game offline, and the Okayama Asian Cup group game. We're in Group F this year. We've had success getting out of Group G, so we're working our way up the alphabet. So that's good news. So yeah, we'll come back with the Asian Cup, and we'll probably make that a double header where we'll play the Melbourne City game offline. So I'm Garry Foster. Thank you very much for watching What Price Victory, and we'll catch up with you shortly. All the best now.